So, you guys know who I am. So I'm Emily. Would you be able to introduce yourselves, your role in the band, and share a fun fact about yourself? It could literally be about anything.
Mm-hmm.
You can start, Logan.
Okay. So I am Logan. I'm the guitar player in Twist It. And a fun fact about me is I'm a huge nerd. I like anime and video games, and yeah, when I'm not doing music, you'll find me doing that.
What's your favorite anime?
That's such a hard question. I really like, Attack on Titan did something to me.
Okay.
Jujutsu Kaisen, Dragon Ball.
Okay, I see.
Yeah.
Dragon Ball's pretty good.
You didn't even say Naruto.
Oh, yeah. I always forget that one. And Naruto. I'm actually rewatching Shippuden right now.
Yeah. He was watching it the entire time that we went down to Nashville to record the first time. You would, like, peek in his room, and he'd just be, like, at the screen, like...
I know. That was, like, the best part of the show, too. I was just like, oh, my God, this is awesome.
Right.
That's so iconic. All right, who's next?
I'm Sarah. I'm the drummer, and a fun fact about me. I have Christmas music on 24/7, and they make fun of me for it, but it makes me relaxed.
Yeah. I feel like I spend so much time with these two that I know exactly what they're going to say for their fun fact. Like, I was like, Logan's going to go about the anime, Sarah's going to go about Christmas.
I know what you're going to go about.
What am I going to go about?
I can't say.
I know. All right. My name's Kayla. I'm the singer. Well, I'm like, yeah, because we only have like 2 interests each. What am I gonna say, Sarah? Tell me for me.
You're gonna say that you're a huge nerd and you love books, you love anime, and you love traveling.
That's what I was gonna say. I was gonna say I like traveling and I like reading books.
What's your favorite place that you've traveled so far?
Japan. Always Japan. I've been there twice.
I want to go so bad. I really do, but money.
Oh my God, it is an expensive trip for sure. You have to, and the problem is, like, you don't want to be there for just a week because it takes like a whole day to just get there, and then there's so much to see. Like, I was there for 2 weeks the first time I went, and I went again for a week, and then I did Korea the second week, and there is literally like time to see maybe 2 cities. You have to like go for longer to see the whole thing.
There's so much. There's like too much stuff.
There is too much. I feel like I could live there a whole year and still not do as much as they have.
All right. Well, these are great fun facts. Thanks for sharing. And also, Sarah, Christmas music. Honestly, that's so iconic, though.
Yeah.
She got a big Yeti in her in the middle of her house. It's like a big wooden Yeti that just sits there all year long. And when I say big, I mean like it's like it's not 6 feet. It's like 20 feet. It's literally like 20 feet tall. It goes from like the bottom floor all the way to the top, like the second floor. I'll send you a picture later.
Please do. I want to see. All right. So we're going to jump right into the questions. So my first question goes out to Sarah. So as founder and the drummer of Twist It, what inspired you to start the band, and how did you connect with Logan and Kayla to complete the lineup?
Yeah, so I went to a music school growing up. We all actually did, and I always took drum lessons, and I did bass and guitar, and I did the band program there. So we would get assigned to a band, we'd play a couple cover songs, and then towards when I started getting a little older, maybe like 15, turning 16, I got put in a band with Logan actually there because we went to the same school, and it was kind of like to try and write original music and the kids that wanted to try it. So we did that, and then literally like 3 weeks after that little band thing, I texted him, and I barely knew him, and I was like, hey, do you want to start like a project? I want to take this more seriously. And he said yes. And then we had different members, a bunch of different lineups, but then we met Kayla about a year and a half ago, right?
Yeah.
And she was playing with her cover band at the time, and we ended up just being at that show, hanging out, and we saw her sing like 2 songs, and we looked at each other, and we said that needs to be our singer. And then I asked her, and she said no. And then I wrote her a whole essay explaining why she should come to my house and just talk. And then here she is ever since.
I remember being on the phone with my mom, like, yeah, this girl and wants me to be in her band, but I don't know if I have the time for it. But like, you know, they were already lined up to go to Nashville to record like in the next month. And they're basically, yeah, you'd have to learn all their songs and come with them. I barely knew these guys. I went to Nashville with them like a month after knowing them. And like stayed in the same room, and wow.
What an experience.
Wow,
right?
You guys are so lucky. Nah, I'm so lucky.
I mean, you guys are all work together really smoothly, and Kayla, your vocals are fucking great.
Thank you, babe.
Like, I'm going to talk about that a little later, but to add on to my question, though, so Sarah, like, what influenced you to, like, name it Twisted? Like, is there, like, what was the creativity behind that? And also, were there specific influences that you had in mind when trying to, like, how do I word it? Like, create the band sound and, like, what type of vibe, like, rock, like, all that type of stuff?
I'll start with the name. So, surprisingly enough, it came from a rose. And we were looking at pictures and images of roses, and we were looking at the vines on them and how they were wrapping and twisting around it. And we kept just like throwing around that idea, and eventually Twisted came to be. But then we kind of did more research, and we saw that roses represent womanhood, and then there's like blue roses, which represent mystery, which we really liked. And it's just kind of like all these different phases of the roses that we kind of tie in. And like our first EP, Breathe, we did a lot of roses on the album and single covers. On my drums, there's roses. So we kind of tied that in. And then I would say, like, influences, definitely Evanescence, Flyleaf are, like, the biggest ones when I was kind of thinking of, like, what sound we were going for.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I love the whole thing with the roses. Like, it has such powerful meaning, like, especially with women, no offense, Logan, but like more women in the band than, you know, so
that
like,
makes sense.
I love all the strength and the creativity behind that, and I'm all here for that. So now we're gonna talk about Undertow. Okay, so May 9th you guys put out that song, and Kayla, as I mentioned before, your vocal range on that track, I don't understand how the hell you do that.
Me neither, girl.
It's just very bizarre to me. And Logan, like, your riffs and, like, your guitar playing skills, top notch. Like, you're so fucking talented. And Sarah,
thank you.
Girl, how the hell, like, if I was to play drums like you do, like, my feet would probably not be, like, attached to my body. So I don't know how the hell you guys all do that. But anyways, can you talk about, like, the meaning behind the song and what listeners could take from it? Like, did you aim for the lyrics to have more, like, so your listeners going to be more open to interpretation, or is there like a specific narrative that you wanted to convey with the song?
I'll let you take that one.
Okay. So Undertow, we do a collaborative effort with lyrics here. We also write with our producer when we get into the studio. That's Mr. Kyle. So he helps us kind of formulate things and tells us those lyrics are actually kind of bad, so maybe don't do that. But we also had help from Blair Daly, who's a really he's a good friend of Kyle's who helps, you know, and Kyle had a vision for the song and was like, guys, we got this. So it was a big collaboration, Undertow was, which is why it's so massive to us. So basically the song, we keep a little bit of a theme of kind of water in our songs. I don't know if, like, I mean, Dark Thoughts had, you know, Hold Me Underwater. Drown, obviously, is a big water themed song. So we kind of were trying to stick to a theme. We also don't really write many love songs. So a lot of them tend to be more kind of anthems, like, you know, Dark Thoughts was about depression. Undertow is more about like a toxic relationship, not necessarily something romantic, but kind of having a negative person in your life that's weighing you down, that's pulling you under, you know, sweeping you away in the undertow. Kind of feeling like you're losing your sense of self to somebody else. And again, that doesn't have to be kind of a relationship thing. It can be a bad friend. It could be a family member or a figure in your life that's just like, it could be another portion of yourself that you feel like is dragging you down. So it's open to a lot of different methods of interpretation. And I think that's what we go for in our songs a lot of the time, is to kind of just...
I think you can interpret our songs like really any way that you want.
Yeah, like kind of relevant to
Related
however
to
you're going through. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like I get that completely, and I like when artists leave it for interpretation, because so many people are going through so much shit in their life, and there's so many different struggles, whether it's mental health, physical health, emotional, like all that stuff. So like being able to read the lyrics and getting that full understanding of like how much emotion goes into it and all that. So that's something I always find very interesting. Like with me as a person, I deal with stuff all the time.
Yeah.
Like, so much stress, and just listening to lyrics and just conveying them in a way where it's like, how can I relate to this? So like that's basically where my standpoint is with that. So in the recording process with the song, was there certain inspirations that like kind of had you like change the sound a little bit? Because I noticed with like older songs versus like this sound, it's like more like a djent type of instrumental. So like what was like the inspiration, and what was like the recording process for it like?
Yeah, both look at me.
Yeah, Logan.
Well, actually, I think if my memory serves me right, I think that the song probably not, but I'm gonna try. I think the song started with my riff, because while we were actually recording still Dark Thoughts, because I think Undertow was the second song that we recorded in the studio.
Started it. We did the music before we did all the lyrics. We came back to it.
But I was just messing around on the guitar, and then the riff came about, and we kind of just built it off of that. And I would say that it kind of is it's definitely more involved than Dark Thoughts and some other stuff that we have that we're not going to talk about yet. But
I'm trying to think if we had a reference for that song, like a mixed reference.
I feel like, well, the verse, as soon as we started writing that, I was like, this sounds like Under the Sea right now, and I kept singing like Under the Sea.
Oh my god, I do remember you
I thought it was like The Little Mermaid. I honestly couldn't hear it.
But that's all that was stuck in my head, and I kept saying that. I was like, it feels like I'm in water right now.
Yeah.
But
that's good. That's the vibe.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, so like that's the whole vibe.
Trying in some Disney, all right.
Yeah, I don't think Undertow specifically had like the whole what can I say that we were working?
I could cut whatever you guys want out, so you just whatever you guys want. Yeah.
I'm thinking because we can say that we're working on more stuff, right?
Yeah.
Like we recorded a bunch of songs at the same time. Yeah. So we did 5 songs in our run in the studio. And that was over the course of the week. So some songs we did the instrumentals for, then we did the lyrics later, we came back to it. But it was kind of a collaborative effort on like mix referencing. Like Dark Thoughts pulled a lot from Linkin Park. Like especially in that like bridge part, like the melodic thing. I always think of Linkin Park when I hear that. And then we have another song that we listened to. Do you know the band Stand Atlantic?
I've heard of them.
Yeah, so they're a little more pop punky, but we liked the rhythm of one of their songs in the choruses. So we kind of went back and used that as a reference for a song, and I think that kind of translated to the overall theme of all of the songs, like pulling from Stand Atlantic. There was some South Arcade we listened to. There was the Linkin Park. There was
Poppy. I think he played that maybe.
There was some Poppy. Yeah. So just like listening to all of those artists and overall thinking what's going to be the vibes of the songs that we're working on. I don't think there was anything specific that Undertow was inspired by. Yeah. I think it was kind of a collection of like pop punk and metal, and then some rock.
Yeah, a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I like that a lot, combining different types of genres of rock and metal, and especially with the breakdown too. Like that was absolutely insane when I heard
it. There was a little bit of EDM in there.
A little bit, like with the little synth in the beginning. That was a really cool, unique twist to put on it. Twist it. So, Logan, question for you. So, doing words, hello. So, for the song, was there like specific like gear that you use, like specific like plugins or pedals? I've always like asking guitarists these questions because kind of nerd on guitar myself a little bit.
So what we used in the studio this time was called a Quad Cortex. It's an amp modeler, and it's by a company called Neural DSP. And we went back and forth between using that, tones on that, and then actual plugins on his computer. But as far as guitar tones, it was pretty much just by that company because they sound great. So why use anything else, honestly? But
sponsored, not sponsored.
Yeah, not sponsored. But yeah, Neural DSP is great. I have a quad cortex myself. That's what I use live. So it sounds pretty close to the record, I'd say.
Yeah, I think that's cool being able to use like the same patches.
Yeah, the same tones that he used in the studio. So
Yeah.
makes our live sound even better because it sounds even closer to the song.
And was everything done on a 7-string?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I forgot. Yeah. Last time we went down, everything was recorded on a 6-string. But then this year, before we went down, I tried to, I was thinking of not so like myself more while writing, but also like Kayla, like vocal wise as well, like seeing what range she's comfortable in. So like what tuning I should play in that, like the top note makes sense for her range. So then we ended up using a 7-string in drop G, which is pretty low. Yeah.
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 Yeah, he still goes a little too high for me sometimes, so I like sitting.
Yeah, we're still figuring it out, but like
No.
It sounds, for what we have and what we made, it sounds very good.
Okay, I love that for you guys, and especially like how you try to fit it with Kayla's vocals too, because there are some bands out there like that have such interesting tunings, and sometimes the vocalists are like, all right, this is like, what are you doing?
Oh yeah,
I've had many instances with that. I used to be in a band, and this one guy, he had like such a weird range in his vocals, but like none of the tunings that we had fitted at all, so it's interesting to hear that. So back with like the whole recording process, so we're gonna talk about instruments and vocals. So how do you guys approach this in your songwriting? I know a lot of artists have it like spontaneous, but do you usually come up with the lyrics first, then the instrumentals, or do you start with the instrumentals, then the vocals and the lyrics?
I say typically most of the time it's usually instrumentals first. There has been in some cases where we might come up with some lyrics or a melody and then write it off of that, but most of the time I think it's easier to kind of write lyrics and a melody once you have your foundation down of what the song is kind of be. You kind of get the vibe already of the song from the instrumentals itself.
Yeah, there is random instances, like both me and Sarah have like our own lyric books where we might like think of a cool line or something that we want to incorporate in a song, and when we're in the studio listening to the verse play over and over and over again to try and think of a melody,
we're
flipping through our books like what could fit here, and I think that happened with I guess I don't think it's a song that we have talked about yet, so I won't say, but I remember the line that we were like, yo, and even though there was an old Still Alive had that first, you had something, consuming feeling keeping me from moving, she had in her lyric book, and I was like, wait, that kind of goes hard, but we needed like a couple more lines at the end of it, so I added like toward the light, so consuming feeling keeping me from moving towards the light. But you have to kind of like find a way that fits in the melody, and sometimes you have to take the two out, and sometimes you have to like shorten the sentence so that it fits all the syllable counts. Like
every time we write melodies and lyrics,
I was literally right about to
Logan
say this.
is so bad at counting syllables.
He wants to add so many syllables to a song, so it's like
if you see me write a melody, it literally sounds like you're rapping.
Yeah.
It'll be like consuming feeling, and he'll be like, the consuming feeling that I saw yesterday is gonna keep you from rapping.
He literally just keeps going. Me and Sarah are like, Logan, like,
calm down.
Or he's like, what if we added an extra syllable or two in between? And me and Sarah are like, no. Like, the more simple, the better. Like, please stop trying to overcomplicate. Like, you don't need to say all of those words. It's not that deep.
It's okay. You just have a lot of thoughts you want to express.
Yeah, he just has a vision.
That just like goes to show that everybody comes up with different, ideas, and sometimes some of the things like syllables that I've added have sounded good, right?
Uh-oh.
I like the silence.
Yes.
I'm sure they have, Logan. I'm sure they have.
And if they didn't now, hopefully in the future, they'll
Yeah. Well, he's
something
learning.
I just have to work on.
He's learning.
Maybe you guys will come out. With a rap song, yeah. What's up?
I was gonna say, we learn so much every year, even every couple months about songwriting, and like just like especially after a studio trip with our producer he's been in a band and he's been producing for like, I don't know, 20 years, maybe like more than that. I don't know.
Long time.
So we hear like a lot of things from him just about like advice in terms of releasing music, in terms of writing songs, of what people want to hear, you know, structure wise, what things we should keep and what things we shouldn't change, especially if we want songs that are radio friendly, which we now have. Thank you to Mr. Odell for helping us achieve that.
Oh, that's so sweet. So with the song, were there any challenges that you guys faced while working on it, like from the demo to the release version, besides Logan and his syllables?
Well, now that I think about it, I don't know if it was Undertow, but I think there was a point in one of the songs where we were just like, nothing's coming to mind, so we just move on to another one that we're working on, or
I think I remember what song that was.
Yeah, sometimes if we'll get stuck, we'll just move on to another one, come back to different parts. Like, we're always just hopping around in the studio. So
Undertow was pretty solid from start. Like that song was not touched, I don't think. Like, I mean, besides mixing stuff, I don't think we didn't change any lyrics, we didn't change any melody or structure, or from the demo to the release. Like it was, we were very like, whoa, with that song. Like, once it was sent to us after we recorded the whole thing, we were like in the Airbnb bumping it. We were literally like, yo, this is like, you know, all it needs is the levels fixed. And
you literally hear me playing Dark Thoughts at like 2:00 in the morning from the closet.
I know. Yeah, we had Logan sleep in the closet of the Airbnb because it was only a 2-bedroom.
At least put him in the bathroom or something.
It was a big closet. It was
It
was bigger than the bathroom.
There was mattresses. He had a mattress.
Yeah, there was a little mattress. He was fine.
Oh, you poor thing.
When I would wake up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom, and I have to step over Logan to go to the bathroom.
That's so funny. I can't even imagine. Actually, I can picture that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's just how we roll.
Yep.
The girls get their own bathroom, and Logan has to be on the floor and share the...
I mean, us girls, we need more time to get ready. We need everything to ourselves. You know?
Exactly.
Like,
exactly.
When I went to Las Vegas for Sick New World last year, like, I was with a bunch of guys, like my boyfriend and his friends, and there was me and one other girl. We hogged up both of the bathrooms. We're like, all right, you guys not allowed. We're here. Goodbye.
Yeah, they don't need it. They don't need it that long.
Nope. So... on to like one of my almost last questions about the Undertow song. So were there any memorable moments you guys want to mention from the music video shoot, or just even recording the song in general? It could be funny.
No, the people who were there were kind of weird. The people who were filming it and taking pictures there were like kind of weirdos. So
definitely not Emily and Alexis.
Yeah.
Nope.
I think that was definitely our favorite music video we ever did, and it was really cool working with Alexis again. Why are you laughing?
Because we've only ever done 2.
I was thinking that, but I was trying to.
It's our favorite music video we ever did. I was like, it's the second one we've ever did.
Just give me
Well, adding on to that, I think that the Undertow shoot was a lot more, I guess, just like better.
It was thought out.
Yeah, it was definitely more planned than the Bitter music video as well.
Yeah,
I think even Alexis can agree. I think the final product was definitely a lot better too.
I'm not very used to being like on camera, which like Bitter, in the music video there, I think you could see that I was like a little more awkward. Undertow was a lot more like comfortable, and I felt like Alexis was very not inspiring, that's not the word. She was like kind of motivating, like she made me comfortable. And you being there too, you know, it was obviously your first time meeting you, but you guys you're very friendly, like especially right off the bat. So sometimes it can be awkward, like I don't want to look like a weirdo when you're overthinking the way that you're doing all your movements.
I get that, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, still,
it kind of just feels like more like a bunch of homies hanging out rather than like actually working.
We're just like goofing off, and then you get the music video back and you're like, oh wait, we actually kind of cooked on that.
Yeah.
So But yeah, I thought it was a lot of fun to work with the lights. It was exhausting. We were obviously there for a while, and there was some labor, and singing the song over and over again, and it was kind of cold in there.
Oh yeah, no, it was absolutely. It like the studio was beautiful, but it was just so freaking cold. And I remember seeing you on that chair with your Rice Krispies, just
oh my Rice Krispies! Oh my God, my Rice Krispie treat. They were actually Lucky Charms that were turned into Rice Krispie bars.
Same thing.
Yeah, they had marshmallows. So
I'm setting up all my drums, and I look over to Princess Kayla with the Rice Krispie.
I'm just eating my marshmallow crispy treat, my Lucky Charm crispy treat.
Sarah, didn't you have your drum kit on like wall?
Oh yes, I forgot to bring my drum rug, and the whole place was concrete, so my drums were gonna slide. So I'm walking around because it was kind of like construction going on there, and I'm literally dragging pieces of drywall from the other room to put my drums on. But it worked, and it looked pretty cool.
It was white too. So like,
drums on drywall.
It added to the industrial look of the video.
Yeah, like I remember when I think Kayla, you were doing your take when Alexis was recording your part. I remember standing behind Alexis, just fucking doing the Macarena and just being like the dumbest person.
Yeah.
Like I was goofing off because like I was just standing. Oh, jeez. I almost just like my foot collapsed. But it was just very funny. I was just goofing off, and I'm like, these guys seem chill. I don't think they'll really judge me that much.
I always wonder like if the other artists are just like not chill, like if they're, I don't know.
I've worked on other shoots before. It's like 50-50 for me personally. I'm also not gonna mention names, but I've had my experiences.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah. But yeah, my brain's not working again. Jeez, I'm so sorry. Best interviewer ever.
No, you're fun.
All right, so now we're gonna dive into going into questions about playing shows and performing. So you guys recently performed at Launch Music Conference Fest alongside artists with Gina Fritz, Deadlands. So I've been wanting to know, like, how was your experience, and have you guys ever performed at Launch before?
Yeah, we played there the last 2 years, so this was our third year.
Second year with Kayla.
Yeah, I think it's really cool because each time we go, I feel like we've grown so much, and I feel like even just, it's the same people there, not same bands, but the same people who run it and the panelists there. So it's really cool just each year kind of building up a fan base. And the first year we were there, we had like 5 people watching us. Yeah. And the second year, we were like, oh, this is pretty good. We had like 10 people, 15 people. And then this year, our room got really crowded, which was cool. And the room was kind of empty all day. And then we were like, oh, like, we're not sure what's going to happen. And then all of a sudden, it was filled in. And that was like our first time experiencing that there, which was really cool. And it kind of made us feel like we were doing something right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But
it's probably because I joined and they were like, yeah, we have to go see her.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hyping
yourself up, I see.
No, I'm kidding. Launches, we didn't get, we were a little last minute on the launch schedule this year, so I don't think we got to maximize our time there. But we still got to see some of the people that we, like, just our friends that we made along the way, because we made a lot of connections there. The first time that I went, you know, we ended up playing shows with bands that we met there, like Roderick, Heartbent.
Mm-hmm.
And it was cool to see, like, even artists in other genres that you kind of make friends with. And because there's stuff to be learned there too. Even though we'll never play a show with an acoustic singer-songwriter, we might, understand where a venue that would accept like original music then, or they might know somebody, or blah blah blah.
Yeah.
I feel like every year I go there, I always learn so much, and just they have panels and people just talk about recording to playing shows to touring, and I think it's so cool just being able to get all that knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This time was a little, I was very sick, and then launch happened, and I had like started to lose my voice. But I had played a show before where I was like kind of lost my voice, and it went fine. And I was like, oh, finally I must have just kicked it. So this time that we played at launch, I was like, well, I kind of am losing my voice, but it'll be fine because last time was fine. It was not fine. Lo and behold,
Kayla
it was not
says
fine.
It's not fine, but she sounded great, and everyone got off stage and was like, "We didn't even know you were sick."
Well,
Literally.
Maybe it wasn't fine in performance aspect, but I could not speak for 2 days afterwards. Like I was like, first of all, it was very hard. Like already the songs that we sing we all sing them together. Already
I'm actually the singer.
Yeah. Well, Sarah does sing them from the drum kit. I look at her and she teaches me the lyrics when I forget. No. I'm just kidding. I've never forgotten the lyrics.
Mm-hmm.
Where's wood? Knocking on wood. But I just remember it took a lot more, like the breathing was so hard because my lungs were just like shot from coughing all the time. And you need a lot of breath for a lot of the songs, especially like Orange Haze and Faded. Like both of those songs require a good breath because I'm holding out notes and stuff. And I remember like as soon as I started to sing, I was like, oh no.
I was playing the drums and I just see Kayla look at me and she's like,
I was literally like, oh my god, what just came out of, like, I sounded like I had just smoked probably 20 cigarettes in a row. Well, to me, because you know how your voice sounds like a little worse to you than it does to everybody else. But I got off stage and everybody was like, I didn't even know you were sick until you started speaking. Like, they couldn't tell from my singing voice that I was sick, which is so interesting to me because even watching the videos back, I can hear, like, the notes that I couldn't hit turned into, like, screams. And the two girls came up to the merch stand after, we loved your screams. I loved your screaming. And I was like, there's no screaming in any of our songs. So
well, obviously it still sounded cool.
I know. I was like, I'm glad that it like transferred well, I guess. But yeah, and then my voice was ruined. I had to call out of work because I literally couldn't speak, and my job requires me to speak. So I was like, hey, it was just like, I can't. So, but it was all worth it for the launch performance.
Yes. It was.
I mean, hey, if you did a little bit of a scream, that means you should start doing them on future stuff,
I know, but it was definitely not the proper scream. It was like screams of pain more than it was vocal fry. Yeah.
At least it paid off, though.
I guess.
You overcame that
for them.
For them, but
for
you
them.
were probably suffering.
Yeah, exactly.
You're just like, oh my god, I need to
got off like, I need to go home. Nobody talk to me.
Sounding like an old lady.
Yeah, literally. I was like, thanks so much for coming out. They were like, oh my god. Like, what's wrong with this girl?
That's awkward. That's very awkward. I would not know what to do.
I know, it was weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So your performance, like I've seen videos, and no, Kayla, I did not see the parts of you being sick. So
Thank you.
I'll
post them later.
No.
Please do. But I love your guys' energy when it comes into the performance. Like, and then Sarah, I know I saw the other day of the drumstick flying into your face.
Yep.
So hope you're okay. But how do you guys mentally and physically prepare for your performance? Like, what do you guys do? Is there any like things you do to prepare?
Panic attack, blackout.
I feel like
No, go ahead.
the live shows are my favorite part of being in the band, and I love performing. And I know this is like cliche to say, but I'm really never nervous before going on stage. The only thing that's like scary sometimes is because we use technology and tracks. So it's really just hoping that our technology doesn't go down. But like all of us, we've done it so much and we know that we can do it. So it's really just going up and putting on a great show for everyone who came. And I don't know, I just love it. Like, it's so much fun and it feels like I can just let go. And like, that's what all the songs and all the hard work we put into, I feel like that's the moment that it all pays off. So just being able to all do that together is cool.
Yeah, we put a lot of work into trying to put on a good show live. I'm blanking.
I think Logan gets scared that they're gonna keep his guitar off for his solo because we have so many.
A lot of the time my guitar solo during Faded is a lot lower than the rest of the song. So
I think the sound guys are just not expecting to hear a guitar solo, and so like they have half of his guitar turned all the way down for his solo, and then it's like, I mean, we can all hear it in our in-ears, but like the crowd is like, what's this guy doing? You know?
I feel like also we've gone to a lot of shows and we're expecting like, I don't know, a band to be really fun and high energy, and then we kind of get there and it's like, sometimes they're like they sound great live, but then sometimes we're kind of like, this is a little boring. So I feel like we all are always aware of that, and we just want the crowd to have a really fun time, and we want to give them as much as we can and like make it worth coming out to our show.
Yeah, as somebody who I performed in cover bands for like 10 years before I joined them, and wow, I'm old. That was jarring to say, because it was true. But so I, having your own songs to perform, there's like a different kind of stigma to it. Like, obviously people know your songs, but you're the singer, you're the vocalist, you're the one who wrote it. So like, how are they going to be mad if you mess it up in a way? So before a show, I'm kind of like, there is a stage fright feeling. Yes. Do I get sick to my stomach before I have to get on stage? And do I feel like I'm going to poop my pants? Yes. But I think as soon as I get up there, it's more like, oh, I'm up here with my friends, and they wrote this song with me. We're performing this song. We've practiced this song. We played it 100 times. And these people are here because they want to see us. Like, it's not like people are in the crowd because they came because they want to shit on us. Sorry. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. But I mean, there's always going to be a fear with it. But I think that, as long as the crowd's energy, that's another thing too, is like, sometimes the crowd is not there. Quite literally, maybe there's one person in the crowd. And you kind of have to act like there's more people in the crowd in order to keep your energy up, so that it's not just you singing the song. Like, obviously people are there to watch you too, or else they could just listen in their car at home. You know,
that's a good point.
Yeah, so it is hard sometimes to put on a show when you feel like the people there are not really into it. I
think a way for like anybody to get better at performing live is, a lot of people don't like watching themselves perform like afterwards, but like but you know, it's really important, because you know, like we say all the time, like if you don't feel like you're, you know, going crazy enough, or
you look stupid,
if you feel like you look stupid,
then you're doing something
then
right.
You're doing exactly, you're doing something right. Watching yourself back is really important, because then you can look at it and be like, okay, this is what I need to fix, and this is what I need to do to
which I feel like we always have to do, because we're doing our own social media and taking live clips for things, and we're like,
in the beginning, the amount of times I used to watch our videos back, and I remember I would get off stage a couple years ago, and my dad would be like, you look so boring back there, like you look like you're miserable, and I'm like, really? I thought I was having a great time. Like, I thought I was really moving. And then I watched my video back and I was like, oh my gosh, like this is awful. And then it just kind of like naturally comes with playing shows, but it's very interesting how you think you did versus watching the video back and you're like,
well, that's true the opposite way. Like, I could think that I was so bad, like performance wise, I could be like, oh, I sounded like crap, and then I watched the video back and I'm like, low key, I kind of ate that up. You know. So it's really like there's also pressure, I think, like being in the front. Sorry. Did you hear that? Okay. There's pressure being in the front, because, you know, not only is the crowd behavior affecting you, but you have that influence on the crowd. Like, you're kind of making or breaking their interest. So like, to see them uninterested is like, oh crap, like not only do I have to sound good, but I have to say something interesting and funny right now, or do some kind of interesting movement to keep them engaged. Like, I should be doing backflips on stage. Now I can't do none of that.
Absolutely not. Every person in the crowd has an expectation.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm sure we won't meet.
Everybody has different interests, and like
people probably see us live and are like, they were okay.
Yeah.
But they're wrong, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, to the haters, we should just square up and fight.
Exactly. Like, pull up to my house. haters.
But I like how you guys have so much positivity and you going into a good mindset with it. So that's really great. And I'm all here for that. And I haven't seen you guys live, but I bet it would be one hell of a performance, to say the least.
Well, you just got to get out there. There's a show this Friday, too.
Where?
Whitehall, PA, like over by Allentown. The Trog.
I'll see if I'm free. I gotta get my boyfriend. I'll be like, hey, can you drive?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're playing like, I don't know.
We're playing with a cool band called Young Medicine. They're on tour, but I think you would like them. They have a really cool sound. They're heavier.
Yeah. Check our Instagram. Link in bio.
They play the guitar.
They play the guitar?
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh
yeah,
my
they have a
goodness.
really cool like aesthetic to them, so I'm excited to, like, they have a different sound. Like I don't know anybody who really sounds like them.
Mm-hmm.
But
Thanks for hooking me up on another band.
yeah, got you.
So, is there, like, for all three of you, is there a dream lineup or a dream venue that you guys want to be part of or perform at?
That's a good question.
I want each of you to respond your dream lineup.
I think
We have so many dream lineups.
I know. I think for like
Let's all give a band.
give a band.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh my god. No, you guys are gonna take them all.
Go ahead.
Well, I'm
You
gonna start.
start.
Oh, I
No.
think
He's gonna say. I know what he's gonna say.
What am I
Go
gonna
ahead. Say it.
because there's so many.
Just
There's
say
like
one.
I think I think The Warning would be cool.
Oh, they're really good.
Yeah, they're a 3-piece.
I was gonna say that.
They're all girls too, so I think it would fit the vibe. And I think any of the festivals that are coming up, like what just Sonic Temple just happened. The one in Florida is like this week. I think like any of those would be so much fun to play too.
Yeah, that would be a dream to get on one of the festivals, one of the Danny Wimmer festivals. But dream band, honestly, any band on Octane we love. Like, I just saw the Funeral Portrait live a couple months ago, and they blew me away. Like, their stage presence was crazy, and he was so fun. I love Dayseeker, Catch Your Breath, like any of those bands, The World Alive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's so hard to say because there's so many amazing bands out there, and they're all at so many different levels that obviously there's like a realism to it. Like, obviously we're probably not going to be opening up for Sleep Token or it's also not yet. But it's like it's also a genre thing too. Like, you have to think, like, is it realistic for us to play with them? Like, I think a tour. I know
She's just saying dream big.
Yeah, I know. Well, I'm
Just
thinking, I know, right? I'm thinking, like, didn't Evanescence in The Warning? What?
When Sarah, like, moved her head, the video just gave, like, a thumbs up.
Yeah,
like a
it
reaction.
does that sometimes.
That's funny.
I don't know
so
how
weird.
it does that.
It never
but-
does it when I want, though.
I know. Every time there's, like, a...
That's so weird. Anyways, sorry. That was, like, a huge ADHD moment.
I was gonna say, like, didn't The Warning and Evanescence go on tour with somebody? Hailstorm?
Yeah.
I remember it was, like, a
was
crazy
Hailstorm.
female lineup.
Hailstorm?
Mhm.
Like, any kind of, like, female-fronted band like that would be, like, a lot of fun to go on. Because I feel like
It makes
men are
sense.
everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Too many places, if you ask me. No offense. No, I'm just kidding.
It's just
right
like
here.
an
But it would be it would be really cool to get on some kind of bill with like just the ladies, like you said, The Warning, obviously.
Spirit Box.
Yeah, I thought that's what you were gonna say. Spirit
really?
Box, yeah.
I'm surprised I didn't say that myself.
There's a lot of other like out of
Yours
genre
truly.
bands. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like even the pop punk bands, like we were talking about Stand Atlantic and South Arcade,
Mhm.
like they've got their front ladies. But I'm just happy to play with anybody.
Me and Alexis, we were talking a few days ago, and I was like, who would Twisted be good on a lineup? And it's so funny, we both said the Funeral Portrait.
Really?
Oh wow.
Yeah, and I was like, they should definitely open for Deadlands. Like, that would be very, very solid, too, because Casey's the absolute, like, she's fucking crazy.
She's
Yeah.
a beast for sure.
We would love to do that.
I know. Yeah, we've also been into like the Pretty Wild lately too. I
Oh,
think.
yeah.
Yeah.
Their new
Yeah.
stuff lately, it's been mind-blowing. Like,
Yeah, they
I
rock.
almost freaking ran off the road while listening to one of their newest songs that they
Yeah, I
put
listened
out.
to that too.
Yeah.
I was at work the other day. I teach little kids how to do gymnastics.
Oh, God.
So it's like a big gym. And the Pretty Wild are all like crazy. I don't even.
With the acrobat.
Yes, acrobat. I was like, it's not, they don't do gymnastics, but like they're crazy moves. No one was in the gym, and I was like running around just throwing myself off things. I'm like the Pretty Wild right now.
Yeah.
Honestly, you can make that promo for upcoming songs, just like Sarah doing backflips and all like that spinning things. Like I could never do that.
I know, because I
got you
can't do
guys.
them.
I filmed myself.
My
Yeah,
bones
I'll
be
do it
cracking.
later.
She filmed it.
Yeah, my bones be cracking way too much. I don't think I could do a backflip.
I got sciatica.
Oh,
Like backs. I get up
Ooh.
and everything pops.
Oh.
Left hip, right hip.
Everything.
I did one backflip the other day, and I literally was seeing like speckles everywhere, and I couldn't tell if it was the dust particles or my head. And then it was going on for 5 minutes, and I was like, okay, it's me.
Oh,
Oh my
no.
God.
And then
No.
it finally went away, but
That's so iconic. That's so funny. But yeah, no, my bones be cracking. Like I can't do things. Like I'm 21, going on 22. There's things I was able to do, and then it's now I can't.
Yeah, girl, I feel you. Every year it gets worse. It's all downhill from there. I started taking collagen supplements.
Oh.
You better start now.
That's so
Retinol.
funny.
Retinol on the skin. You know what I'm
Oh my
saying?
God.
Vitamin C.
Okay, well, on that note, we're going to shift our questions. We're going to talk about your guys' Octane premiere, which congratulations, by the way. I'm
Thank
so
you.
proud of you guys. So, how did it feel to hear Dark Thoughts on SiriusXM Octane for the first time? Can you guys, describe the emotions and your reaction to hearing it for the first time on the radio? I know you guys had, a listening party, but can you elaborate on it and expand on it?
it was crazy because every time we talk and we're thinking about radios and we're just throwing it around, what would be a dream scenario, we always say Octane, and we would love to be on SiriusXM Octane, and we always just thought that it was in the far future.
Yeah.
And then it all just kind of happened quickly, and we got reached out to, and then the next week it was on test drive, and we kind of it never fully processed
No, it
that
didn't.
it happened.
Until we were, I feel like until we were there at the listening party hearing it air for the first time, it was all yeah, the song's going to be on Octane, Test Drive. And then we heard it, and it was wait a sec, we got our song on radio.
Yeah.
And then we were really pushing it, and crazy enough, it made it on rotation. And when that we didn't even know. I was driving to work, and my dad's friend heard us on the radio at 7:30 in the morning. He's like, they're on Octane right now. My dad calls me, and he's like, you're on Octane. I'm like, there's no way.
Yeah.
Because it was 2 weeks after. And then I got an email from them saying we were on rotation, and I was like, this is actually crazy now.
Yeah, it did not feel real. It was so surreal.
And what did they say about Undertow?
Oh, and
We have a little announcement.
yeah,
actually.
Undertow is going to be on Octane, not this week, but next week.
Big shock.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
So you kind of answered my next question, Sarah, but you said you guys were approached with it, right? Did Jose Mangan just kind of reach out to you guys, or Katie Babs and them?
Let me say it.
I want to say it.
But I saw it first.
Go ahead.
It was actually through TikTok. We got a DM from
See.
Emily.
Yeah.
Yeah, her name was Emily too. And first I saw it and I was like, this must be a scam, because it was through TikTok, and I was because we get so many messages every day, and I was just and so I sent it over to them.
Yeah, she was
And then they saw
send the
it.
wave file. I
Yeah,
want to
Yeah,
show it
and then
tonight.
you emailed her, or she gave the email.
I got this.
Go for it.
I got the.
He's bad at explaining.
I just starting it off.
Yeah.
Well, Logan sent it to me, and he was really excited, and I kind of doubted him at first. I was like, Logan, I don't know. So I fact checked, and I was like, oh my gosh, she's the A&R person.
It's legit.
And I was like, this is crazy. So I messaged her back on TikTok, and she's like, can you send your WAV file? Here's my email. I sent her the email with all our information on it, and she's like, I'm going to send this to our program director. Then not even 10 minutes later, she's like, all right, you're going to be on Octane Test Drive next week. And I was like, what?
Yeah.
It was
What
crazy.
the fuck?
It felt like a big accomplishment because we didn't really have to do anything. We submit all the time to festivals and obviously anything we can to get our music out there, but for her to do like a direct reach, like, I saw your song, I think it would be good on the radio, like, to not even have to pitch it for it to have been found like that was kind of like,
it felt really good.
Yeah, it was like, oh, like,
it was like our hard work paid off and people actually liked it.
We're not delusional. This song is actually kind of good.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's so cool. I love that. When you guys were just telling me the story, I kind of got the chills from hearing that, not gonna lie.
Yeah.
That's honestly so sweet, though. I'm so excited that you guys are getting more exposure. So, like, how has your song being on Octane impacted your band's exposure and the fan base? Like, have you noticed, like, an increase in, like, social media, like, followings and, like, streams with Dark Thoughts? Like,
Dark Thoughts has definitely been getting more streams, but I think what it did, like, hold on, words. What it did the most was when we were announcing Undertow, all these people were following our TikTok and our Instagram, and a lot of people I feel like TikTok, people respond more and comment more, which is interesting, but they kept saying, we just heard you on Octane, we heard you on Octane, which is really cool.
Mm-hmm.
And then
they would, like, send pictures of their car radio, and it has our name on it. It's like, just heard you on Octane. I was just like, this is crazy.
But a lot of them then saw we were releasing a new song, and when we released Undertow, we got the most amount of streams we ever got in a day, like the same day of releasing it. Mm-hmm. And I've found that our streams have increased a lot on that new release, which was really cool, especially seeing that they like Dark Thoughts and now they're listening to Undertow and like that as well.
That's so sweet, and I love how supportive the scene is now with music, especially when you have social media platforms like Instagram, TikTok, and just how the algorithm just made people find you guys. Like, with me, I hate algorithm. I'd be struggling with that all the time, so it's good that you guys are getting that sort of exposure with that, and that's really, oh my god, there's no words to describe how fucking happy I am for you guys, literally.
Thank you.
And I always will support you guys, ever since Alexis hyped the fuck out of you guys up to me, I was like, alright. And there's a contributor in my publication, his name is Keith. He was even, like, telling and hyping you guys up, and I'm like, oh, okay, I'll check them out, okay. And I'm like, alright, they're cool, fuck it, And so that's really cool, I love that, I'm all here. So, on that note, we're gonna stop talking about the serious shit. We're going to go into the goofy questions.
Goofy!
And some of these answers, I'm honestly kind of curious on how it's going to be answered, so should be interesting. So, first question. What is your guys' guilty pleasure songs? It could be literally anything.
I already said mine. It's Christmas music, but...
Yeah.
What type of Christmas song do you like? Like, what's your favorite song?
You want to know what the last song that I was listening to was? Right here. Chains by Nick Jonas.
I know what yours is.
What?
It's like Ariana Grande.
Yeah.
They're fire. I admit, like, I love pop music too. Like, Bruno Mars's new stuff is great.
Okay.
I think his entire discography is, like, top-notch shit.
Yeah, I think that we all have a cute little pop side to us. We were singing High School Musical in the car that one day where we were filming content, me and you. Logan was a little lost. I don't know if you've...
I was there, but wasn't there.
Yeah. Yeah, he was mewing in the background. If you've seen that video of him mewing in the back of the car, that was when we were singing High School Musical. But yeah, I like Disney. Sometimes I go through the Disney song playlist. Sometimes I do the SpongeBob soundtrack. And I just got recommended to me the new SpongeBob, like, something. And I was like, why are they recommending me this right now? And it was because I, was listening to Gary's song by, like, Gary, come home. Yeah.
That's so
funny.
So
good.
That, don't judge me, but I've never seen High School Musical before.
Wow. That's not, I was going to say it's okay you're young, but, like, Sarah's young. And she's seen it.
It's okay.
I don't think I've ever seen it either.
You're a boy. Well, actually, Logan, what was it the other day? I said, was Xenon. He didn't know Xenon. And there was something else that I put in our behind the scenes video. I was like, I said, we're kind of like the Charlie's Angels. Charlie's Angels. And Logan was like, what's that? And we were like, you don't know Charlie's Angels? You don't know Charlie's Angels?
I still don't recall what you're talking
Oh
about.
my god. You know Charlie's Angels, right?
I've heard.
Okay. You don't even have to see it, but you at least hear of it. You never even heard of it? It's crazy.
It's so funny how you said I'm too young. So are you implying that you're too old?
No, I'm not old at all. I'm 16 years old. I graduate high school next year, actually. So that's right. That's what goes on with me.
Mentality of a 16-year-old.
What? What'd you say?
Mentality of a 16-year-old.
Oh yeah, exactly. It keeps me young. I mean, I am young. I am 16.
I was triplets.
What year was it? Wait, what year are you born in? 16.
I can't tell it. Oh. This is too much math. We need to keep going.
2009?
I think so.
Okay. Yeah.
Ew,
That's when I was
my
born.
god, just hear it. All right.
Isn't that sick? 2009.
That's gross.
You think people shouldn't be born that year. 2009 and beyond.
I saw a video on TikTok today of like some guy playing Fortnite, and then he ran into like this little kid, and he was like, "What year were you born in?" And he's like, 2018.
Oh,
And he's like, how is that even real?
No,
to
that's
think about?
diabolical.
That's 7 years ago.
It can't be
Ew.
real.
I know. I'm just like,
Ew.
that's so crazy.
That's
They
funny.
shouldn't be able to talk.
It's just crazy how people were born in 2020 are going to be 5. Like, that's absolutely ew.
I know. That's so
no.
That is
crazy.
crazy.
They don't know anything.
Yeah, they don't understand what it was like in the early 2000s, like early 2010s. They won't understand.
They will never know the crisis that was the COVID epidemic, the pandemic.
Yeah.
Oh,
They don't know anything about 9/11.
I wasn't around for it.
Neither do any of you, so.
Yeah, I wasn't.
Me included, because I'm 16, so I
Yeah.
wouldn't know anything about
2009.
that. Yeah, 2009 gang.
That's gonna be a really funny clip. Alright. So, my next question. I can kind of see who will be the answer to this question, but I want to know. So, who is most likely to get lost or show up late to a show or rehearsal, even with GPS on?
Logan's the most likely to get lost. Kayla's the most likely to be late.
Yeah, probably.
Oh, I was
Yeah,
just
still mixed
expecting.
answer.
I was just expecting Kayla to be the answer. I was asking Alexis yesterday. I'm like, would this be a funny question? She's like, hands down, that would be Kayla.
Oh, that's crazy. Yo, I might show up to the wrong venue. Or that's at least a fear. It's never actually happened to me, but I have a fear that I'm always going to I'm going to the venue to the show next week, and what if I drive all the way to Jersey and we're actually
Oh, we just did that last week.
Yeah, did.
Oh, we did do that last week, but
Oh
that
my
wasn't my
God.
fault. That was their fault.
Actually, it was all of our faults because no one checked the date.
Wait,
Well-
so you guys had a show a week after, and literally a week prior to the show, you drove to the venue?
So we weren't playing the show. It's our producer is on tour with a band right now, and they're playing in Baltimore tomorrow night. But for some reason, we all thought it was last Wednesday.
We all got in the car, drove an hour and a half.
Pulled up to Baltimore, only to find out that we had wasted our time doing that. So,
We'll be heading down tomorrow.
yep, we'll be doing it all over again tomorrow.
Y'all just made me lose brain cells. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I think we didn't ever have them to begin with. So,
That's so
I think
fair.
there's one shared between all of us.
But it's not fully functional.
And I think Logan only contributes a very small portion of that. I think the majority is me and Sarah, and then Logan.
You guys are like 49%.
This whole thing is going to
and
be
I'm
clipped of us bullying
2.
Logan.
Y'all are gonna be
Like,
so
you guys are
mean.
49%, I'm 2. At least you got the math right.
I thought you guys were all like
Yeah, you're right.
besties.
Yeah, I'll take that.
Oh, we are. And then until I close this laptop, and then Sarah says, "Logan, get back in the cage."
Just hold him hostage.
Yeah. We put the we put the chains back on and chain him to the wall.
Yep.
We put the guitar in his arms and we say, "And now write something good."
Oh my god.
Oh my god, I can't.
It's okay. You can laugh.
No.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Logan. I feel so bad for you. But it's okay. You kind of deserve it a little bit.
Yeah, it's okay.
You
He does.
signed up
Yeah.
for this.
What did I
Right.
get?
He knew.
So, last goofy question I have for you guys. So, if the 3 of you were stranded on a desert and can only have one item with you, what would you bring and why?
In the desert or on a deserted island?
Both.
In the desert.
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Something like that, yeah.
I always hear people ask this question, and I never prepare an answer for the what day that somebody asks.
Well, I know what you would bring.
His guitar.
You bring your guitar.
Oh.
Because that's all you do.
Sure. At least I'll die happy.
Sarah would bring a radio with Christmas songs on it.
That's true. At least I wouldn't lose my mind. I would stay calm. What would you bring? She'd bring her collagen to stay calm.
My what?
Her collagen.
My collagen. My collagen. Probably SPF 35.
SPF 35? I have to wear SPF 100. I mean,
oh no, girl, not me. Not with the ethnic in my skin.
So
just enough to keep the sun out. Just enough to keep the sun out. The burning, the cancer, but keep the tan. No, I would. I feel like I was gonna pick like a practical answer, like enough water to like a fire starter or something like that. But in like a metaphorical sense, like if I could only have one thing to stop me from losing sanity, probably like my Kindle with Kindle Unlimited on it.
But like, what happens if the battery dies?
That thing is like solar charged or something. I'd have like a solar panel for that.
You'll figure
it
out.
It would be a solar panel on the back of it, and I would.
I thought my old Kindle was solar.
Really?
Yeah, I swear to God.
Yeah. They
What?
should make phones like some solar charged phones.
No,
true.
but instead they
Let's
just
get on that.
die.
Oh yeah, patent pending.
Not the solar panel.
Solar panels on their iPhones. But come on, like we have a whole touchscreen phone and
the MagSafe and all that.
Like you just plug the solar panel into this and then just have it flip up.
Yeah.
And then you can like charge it like while you're at
it
the
has
pool
to
and
exist.
just, like,
we can't be just creating this right now. It has to exist already.
Who knows? Maybe
if we are, we're
If it doesn't exist, cut this out because we might have to go into some inventing.
We gotta manifest. We gotta manifest. We gotta start like a lab, get the gang together, and just develop some new technology.
Shark Tank.
Yeah, we're gonna be on Shark Tank.
Literally.
Yeah.
They look at us like we're a bunch of idiots.
Right? Yeah. Like this already exists, buddy.
What are these idiots doing? Creating solar panels for devices.
Right. Do any of you have science backgrounds? No.
Absolutely not. That was my worst subject. I literally failed every single test in that freaking.
I was not good at that either. I skipped physics. Everybody was like, "We're taking physics," and I was like, "Goodbye."
Peace out.
Not taking any of that.
Logan's fact checking.
Are you looking at solar panel chargers?
Yeah.
They have probably some cases.
There's solar panel like things that charge your phone, like that can charge technology, but not one to actually put on your phone.
It's like a portable battery.
Oh yeah.
Nah, but you gotta like plug it into your phone and then the sun directly charges it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
That's
smart.
It's like have it be on the MagSafe. Have it be like it attaches to the MagSafe.
Yeah.
Like that would be a cool.
That
would be cool.
Period.
Oh my god, this has been far down like the best interview I've ever done.
Oh, okay. We try to be fun.
It's the brain rot.
It literally is. Probably because we're
Emily's-
all like the same age.
Emily's the best interviewer.
Yeah.
When I want to be. Depends
Yeah,
on the day.
agree.
We're gonna jump into like the closing questions, okay? Are you guys all ready?
I'm locked in.
Lock in.
So, looking ahead, what is next for the band? Are there any big plans or upcoming releases that you're excited about? You don't have to name what is actually going to be released. It's just like,
Yeah, we have a few more songs that will be released. My favorite one, I think, hopefully, actually, no, it won't be released next. It'll probably be released last. Huh.
That's
I don't know.
a big
I don't
jump.
even know what your
What you're
favorite
talking
one
about.
is. Yeah.
That's a big jump.
Secrets
Secrets are not fun.
Yeah, because that's the only one we haven't even got a version back yet. The other ones we've gotten versions back and we've tweaked them.
Now I know what you're talking about. Yeah, that's my favorite one too.
But more music's coming. Another music video, definitely.
Mhm.
We're going to Canada in June to play a show, which will be exciting.
Playing North by Northeast
Yes.
in Toronto.
So that'll be fun. Hopefully doing like a mini tour soon, just a couple day run, I think is a good goal.
Yeah.
And hopefully very soon getting on tour as a support band would be the dream. So
we'll make that dream happen. I'll promote the shit out of you guys. I'll
do
whatever it takes.
That's the dream.
That's exactly.
But tour's the goal. I'm ready. Let's go.
Yep.
We got the bus.
Yep.
Just the van.
It's actually a mini school bus.
Yep.
That's being remodeled by Sarah's wonderful parents.
It's a magic school bus.
Yep, it is magic.
It's true. It can fly.
It could fly. I wish. They need to start.
It just can't land.
And if it did try to land, it would end horribly.
Exactly. Yeah. So it could definitely fly through the air. It's the landing that's the problem.
Next question. So, for fans who might be discovering you guys for the first time, what would be the first song you would recommend to get an overall vibe of the band sound?
That's a good question.
It's hard to say because I think our older EP is a little different than this newer stuff that we're coming out with. I'm
trying to think like as like a whole.
I feel like Faded's always a go-to, but I feel like now I would recommend, I don't know, maybe Dark Thoughts?
Yeah, it's kind of hard, I guess, to say.
Yeah, maybe even like Undertow, honestly, because like it has its heavy parts, has the riff, it has a catchy chorus, it has the
synth.
Yeah, it's got some EDM stuff in it. Obviously, it has the breakdown. It has clean verses. You know, you got the clean guitar.
Clean, but
no, not like cursing. I mean, like, you know, clean guitar, and like, you know, we bring it down during the verse.
I feel like that showcases a lot of Kayla's vocals as well for people. So
yeah, she's kind of, you know, Kayla's all over the place in that song with her vocals. So I think Undertow honestly is a good answer for that.
Locked in answer, Undertow.
Yeah.
Undertow.
Stream it.
I'll make sure to get those streams up.
Yeah.
I like the fact that you guys had different variety choices for it, and I'm excited to hear what you guys have next. Oh my god, I can't talk.
Long day.
It's been a day. Yeah. But I'm excited for you guys, and especially since you're diving into more of like the harder rock aspect of things. Like, that's pretty freaking sick. And combining EDM, like, I hope you guys better put that on other tracks, because that will be freaking dope.
Mm-hmm.
We have a whole EDM remix thanks to Pablo in our live show. So,
yeah. We do that. I think it's pretty much a biz, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's on our EP, too, but we do that live. Sarah's drum solo.
Yep.
Yes.
Throwing drumsticks at her face, you know, taking her stick.
It gets crazy.
More
That thing
drywall.
almost took her out.
You guys gotta have more drywall at your shows.
Yeah,
I know.
Literally.
That would be so iconic. Just make that be like a next merch, like Sarah's drum kit on wall.
Sarah's drum
Sarah
kit
signed
drywall.
drywall.
Sarah signed drywall, yeah.
Deadass. And like one last question. So is there like a message you want to give to your fans or upcoming musicians that are just starting out?
I would say
It's a bumpy road.
yeah.
It can be, it has its ups and downs, but you know, in the end, you gotta set goals for yourself. Like, I was just recently doing that, like trying to set like realistic goals for like the upcoming months, and then like, what do I want to reach for like next year? And what do I want done by the end of this year? So I think doing that will also, I think, make things more happen.
Yeah.
You know,
it is not easy.
No.
You have to put a lot into it, and you still have to work a pretty much full-time job in order to fund this also full-time job. Because, you know, not only are you creating music, but you're also, you know, putting money into making merch.
You're running a business.
Yeah, you are. You're running a business, setting up a website, posting every day on social media, recording, like
ads.
Ads, equipment, like all of this stuff is money. It is like and time and money, and a lot of that can be discouraging. I think a lot of people have this vision in their mind that they're
I know, it's Alexis.
Oh my god.
I would say also, don't wait for things to happen, because I feel like people sometimes wonder, like, why isn't this happening for me? Why isn't this happening? Like, it really does take so much hard work, and sometimes you're going to feel discouraged, and you're going to be like, I don't understand why
Yeah.
it's not happening, but it really, I think what would also frustrate me sometimes is I'm always looking for an answer, but there really is no answer in the music industry.
Yeah.
And I'm always like, well, these people made it. Like, I don't understand. Like, what am I doing wrong? And people can give you advice, but it's really just figuring it out for yourself. And everyone succeeds differently.
Yeah, like I think like overnight success like doesn't really exist.
No.
Because
No.
like all these bands who are like, you know, like media is always saying that like, for example, like Sleep Theory had this overnight success, but like they've been a band for a while before
And they still,
anything really started popping.
they put in so much work before that and like all this hard time and dedication. And then they had a viral video and that's what really helped them. But it's just like, I feel like a lot of people don't see that either. They don't see the before. It's kind of just like when you pop off and it happens.
Yeah.
But
So of course they seem like a new band because they
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
got their exposure. Like,
even I heard like the Funeral Portrait, they've been a band for so long and they just had
like over 10 years.
Yeah,
Like
they-
longer.
Yeah.
they just got their like full like launch into it. Like
Only a couple years ago.
Yeah.
it comes in waves. There's levels to it. Different levels of success. Like, you know, when we first released Bitter and we got 1,000 streams, we
Yeah,
were like,
yeah,
oh my god,
six,
we
like-
have 20 monthly listeners. And now we're almost at like 40K again.
That's so crazy.
Yeah. So it's like, and then, you know, being on the radio is a step. Having like connections, like meeting people. Like we got to meet Cullen from Sleep Theory. We got to like interact with him and get advice and like to be recognized and have shows with bands like the Millionaires, the Head PE, Taproot, to play these venues. Like they're all like
stepping stones.
milestones. Yeah. It's all like, What?
Success is really just like a spectrum. Like there's, you know, selling out stadiums, which is like end game, and then there's like, you know,
Getting on
a
their
band,
first tour.
even like a band getting their first 1,000 streams on the song. You know, like that's a huge win for some people. And then there's
Overall, I would say it's a lot of hard work, but if you're willing to do it and you're willing to put in the time and money in the beginning, it's definitely worth it.
it pays off.
Yeah.
yeah. And
Period.
don't feel bad just because you're not famous in a week or you only have 2 listeners in a month. It's like everybody starts at ground zero. Like
We had 10 listeners for like 3 years.
We've had like 4 different singers too.
yeah, look at that.
Yeah.
Now they'll have no more.
Last thing.
Nope.
I think that's also an important thing is whatever you're, I just like,
Completely forgot.
I need to, I'm in. I'm tapped back in.
Lock in.
I'm ready.
Lock
Just
it
cut
in,
that out.
Sarah.
Whatever like your first lineup is of the band, don't think that has to be what it oh my gosh, I can't speak.
Lock
Don't
in,
think-
girl.
Don't think that version has to be the end game because you work so different. Oh my god.
It's okay. We're here for you. We're here for you.
Good bloopers.
You work so differently with people. So it's really just all getting in a room together and playing for the first time. And if it doesn't work out, don't feel discouraged. Just move on and find someone who understands and wants to write the same music as you.
Everybody, it's a sweet spot to find that you might not find like on the first try, because you need people who are dedicated the same way that you are, who are motivated and want the same thing as you, who have the same vision in terms of musical sound and style, and also have the same schedule that lines up with yours. Like I changed my whole job just to have more time to be here with you guys.
And that's why we love you.
I was gonna say that.
I changed my career path just to be able to see you guys at night and on the weekends.
Yeah, but look at us.
It really is, though. It's like finding people that are willing to do that and all share the same end goal, and also just people who you can have fun with and like the
You
same
don't talk
genre
about
of
behind
music.
their back.
Yeah.
Even though we talk about Logan behind his back sometimes.
As you
Yeah.
should.
Yeah, it's Logan.
Yeah, it's just
See,
Logan.
but like that's what makes Twisted because I'm the only guy in the band. Everybody knows that I get bullied by these two.
Such girly
You're very
pop,
public
though.
about it.
It's
Yeah.
very girly pop.
yeah.
Exactly.
And Logan's kind of a girl, so.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
I just
Yeah,
tell
sure.
people you become who you associate yourself with. So I mean, You never know.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that's really great advice that you guys put together. And it's like, with me personally, I experienced that because I run a music publication. We formed literally last year, and like a month ago, a year ago. So it's just been a hard journey, and it's just like, you got to start somewhere. You got to find people who are actually just as dedicated as you are, because not gonna lie, I hate working retail. I just quit my job at Best Buy. Like, I don't want to work retail. I don't want to be stuck like dealing with customers and going to school to get a piece of paper. Like, I left college, and it's just a lot, and you got to start somewhere, and then you got to find people. Like you said, you went through different vocalists throughout the years, and you just have to keep finding that change. Like, we found different co-owners in my publication, and it's just been a lot better.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry, my ferret's scratching at the door, and I have to go let him out.
Oh my god, you have a ferret?
Bring him over here.
Oh my goodness. Thank you guys for sitting down and chatting with me today. It was a pleasure getting to know you guys and listen to all the insight on what you guys have coming up. It was a pleasure, and I hope the best for you guys, and it was so fun. Like I said, this is the best interview we've done.
Yeah.
Thank you for having us.
Yes, thank you for having us.
I'm so excited.
Yay! Thanks, Sam.
Yeah, of course. All right, I'm going to let you guys go, and I'll let you guys have the rest of the day. Don't lose your ferret, Sarah.
I'll try not to.
Yeah, send me pictures of, like, the other animals, please.
I will.
Yeah. I gotta send you a picture of the Yeti in her house.
Please
Oh,
do.
yes.
Yeah.
You got it.
Time to practice our songs.
Yep.
Like the wonderful musicians that we are.
All right. You guys have a good day, all right?
Yeah, you too. See ya.
Bye.
Bye.